Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a really cool team you can use for this faction assault in the Dark Pits. As ever, you can pop to the shop first and grab yourself a tier 1. This gives you a potion of enchantment amongst other things, so all your troops will start enchanted at the start of each and every battle for this event only. Do bear in mind that if you have your horde level in the Dark Pits on at least level 100, you will have a potion of enchantment stored there, so no need to actually buy tier 1. However, if you go beyond tier 1 and want to go like to tier 2, tier 3 and beyond, you do have to buy these tiers in order, so you are forced to buy a potion of enchantment anyway. Right, onto the actual team itself. The team I'm going to use for this is really quick and effective, like it a lot. Lots of true damage using different colour troops just in case we don't get the colours we want all the time. Going to use the Arboreal Crystal. This is a really good weapon. Explodes magic +1 green gems, grants a random status effect to all elemental allies and has a summon at the same time. But one of the things I love about it are its upgrades. It has Tangling and Leaf. Tangling entangles the first troop when this is cast. This is really important in delves. You need to protect your troops, because if you lose a troop in a delve, they are gone for the rest of that delve. So you do not want to lose any troops, and entangle really helps that. And it has Leaf as well, which is a Leaf Storm, which is green. And we have green on 3 of our main troops here, so that is really relevant and a overall superb weapon. If you want to pop the Venoxia to the top, maybe, you could absolutely do that, because if you lose this troop first, then you're obviously not going to benefit from that summon. So maybe swap them round. Like that. That is a good way to go about it. The Foxfire King, what this does, it has the Choose One ability. It deals either magic +1 true damage to all enemies, or deals the same amount of damage to the weakest enemy, boosted by red gems and spirit gems. So the cool thing about that is, if for example the team gets submerged on the other side, the enemy gets submerged, Venoxia is going to miss with that true damage. It can't do anything to those submerged enemies, and the same as Queen Bee. But with the Foxfire King, you can choose that second option and actually target that someone. If they're the weakest enemy and they're not submerged, they will still get hit by that damage, which is a really cool thing about the Foxfire King. As well as that, it has a 50% chance to inflict Fairy Fire on a random enemy when matching red gems. And those Fairy Fired enemies are going to take 50% extra damage from incoming spells, which is going to increase the damage from Venoxia, Foxfire King and Queen Bee. Queen Bee is there because she has that awesome cleanse, which we really like. And as well as that, she creates 9 green and 9 brown gems, then deals scatter damage with a chance to get her mana back and do it again. Basically, really good. Now, we don't use brown, not as a colour anyway, but we are in Elementalist class for this. And one of the things we have for this is rock solid. So we'll just get a barrier now and again, just for the sake of matching those brown. So those brown aren't entirely wasted. We'll get a barrier every single time we get a brown match when we cast the Queen Bee. So really useful in that way, as well as those stun, freeze, burn and entangle a random enemy when matching 4 or more gems. Venoxia, when cast, creates 9 green and 9 blue, then deals damage to all. The green feeds back into herself and the other 2 troops at the bottom here, and the blue feeds our Arboreal Crystal and Queen Bee. So lots of nice synergy in this team. I'm going to go for a +2 green, +1 blue, -1 brown ocular and banner from the All-Seeing Eye. Right, so let's jump in. Another team that works really well with this, but I've shown it before like too many times, is the good old Mang, Chalcedony, Gargoyle and Zernabog team in Construct class, or Geomancer. Really cool. The idea with that team is you just literally can cast Chalcedony maybe once and then cast Gargoyle and then win the game. It's like that fast, because Gargoyle does splash damage. And on the later levels, it actually kind of gets just as easy in a way. You just cast your Mang on the level 500 troops. That takes away their huge amount of armor, adds it to your attack, and then Gargoyle's spell goes absolutely wild, and a couple of casts of Gargoyle and the job is done. It's really quick, really good. I like it a lot, and it's mega safe as well. Because in Geomancer class, you get a constant barrier as well, with the rock solid as well. So really safe, because you're matching brown literally all the time with that team. You just have a constant barrier. That is an alternative to this one. With this one, you're kind of relying on the 4 matches in Elementalist class to give you that entangle like we've got on the first troop there. On the later levels, we've got that. That will be important on the later levels if you're using this team. But the enchantment, the potion of enchantment, and things like that work really well. Makes a huge difference. Cast all your troops, chance of looping. That nice Elementalist class effect when we get those 4 matches. Absolutely making mincemeat of these early stages. In the Mythic room, you can, if you like, when you get to this stage, go around picking off these extra rooms to build up the room treasure multiplier. But for the speed of the video, I'm just going to crack straight on and get this done. If you don't have the Foxfire King, you can, of course, chuck in another troop. You can chuck in a Queen Beatrix or a Leprechaun to speed things up, something like that. Anything you like. Do like the Foxfire King though, that choose one spell, really handy. Especially if you do encounter some submerged troops later on. Because ordinarily that true damage from all is just going to miss. And with this you pick the second one. And it will do damage to the weakest enemy boosted by red gems and spirit gems, but you will actually hit someone. These damage to all troops, Venoxia, Queen Bee, and the first spell of this will actually miss submerged troops, so really, really good. But my favourite team of all is the good old Charlestoni team. Do love it, but I've shown it a lot. So let's make a bit of a change. Let's cast the Arboreal Crystal. Yeah, that Charlestoni Gargoyle Mang team, the Zernabog, is literally, I've never lost a game with it, ever. Even on the level 500 elves. If you use that team properly, make sure you get the barrier, make sure you cast Mang. On the later levels, you have 1,000 attack really quickly, do massive, massive damage with Gargoyle. Super duper safe. Hey, let's give the Foxfire King a bit of action. First option. It's always good to have different choices on your troops regarding the damage and the mana colours they collect. Like if purple wasn't there, for example, or green, but red was, then the Foxfire King gets charged up instead. If red wasn't there and blue was, then obviously you can get this charged up and cast anyway. So always good to have different options on colours, just in case the colours aren't there. Let's grab some of that. There you go, Queen Bee's up this time. It's like she got charged before the other ones did, so we can cast her. She has a chance of the extra turn and charging their team up. Let's cast the Foxfire King. We still have the Venoxia waiting to do damage as well, so lots of damage. Alright, let's just do another line. Let's grab that. Every time we get brown, remember, we get a barrier at the same time for the hero. I mean, the hero should be relatively safe up top, especially in Elementalist class. I'm not looking around for all the 4 matches at the moment, but if you're a newer player, then you certainly should. All those 4 matches make a difference. Get that Elementalist class going, get those stun, freeze, burn and entangles going on with the enemy. Because Venoxia does take a wallop, and on those higher levels, that really is going to make a difference, those skull hits. It's only the hero that gets protected from the rock solid barrier. So yin and yang. You may want to pop it at the top, knowing that if you get brown, you can get a barrier every time. Player's choice. Right, now I've jumped forward a little bit to the delve itself, and I will show you the team I mentioned earlier, which is the Mang, Charlestoni, Gargoyle and Zernabog. Now, even though I'm only on level 160 on this will work on level 500. I've done this on level 500 on many other delves when you can use this team, and it is so easy, it is mind-boggling, and it's pretty fast too. The way it works is, like, Mang eliminates all armor from an enemy, then deals magic +1 damage to them and gains attack equal to the armor eliminated. So what that means is, on those really high level delves where the enemy's got like over 200 armor and things like that, maybe even more, then that gets converted to attack. You cast Mang a couple of times and you're going to be on crazy attack, and then Gargoyle does splash damage to an enemy boosted by all allies attack, and explodes gems at the same time. This does huge damage to the troops on the opposition and just wipes them out really quickly. And it's super reliable and super safe because in Geomancer class we also get rock solid, gain a barrier when matching brown gems. So it remains just like super tight because you get a barrier all the time with this, and you can generate mana with the Zernabog. If you want to, I'll just show this how it works briefly. A really good fun team to use as well, mega safe. Zernabog's up, charges the whole team up. You can cast Mang if you like, boost up your Gargoyle, cast that on somebody in the middle, and then just use your Charleston to charge up somebody again, and just do it again, and it's job done. If you cast your Mang another time, of course, you can cast your Mang a second time, get the power on Gargoyle charged up even more. But one of the reasons I really like this team is because it's going to work if you're a newer player as well. Things like the team I showed earlier, Venoxia, with the Queen Bee and things like that, that is going to be based on your magic, how much power you get and things like that. This doesn't matter. The power is generated from this, from Mang converting and taking away that armor from an opponent and giving it to your attack. That is what makes it so powerful. So it will still work, even if you're a newer player at the same time. If you want, you can use Charlestoni to loop on Brown to get rid of somebody that was about to cast. Any incidental skull hits are going to do massive damage. Yeah, and it's just very easy. It's just super reliable. Good fun too. Oh, they got a summon. We'll wallop them with that. We'll take out them with a Charlestoni, say, and then just use that massive damage of Gargoyle to finish off. Really easy. And pretty much invincible. I've called this my Invincibles team for the reason that I've never ever lost a match with it in a delve, even on level 500, not even come close. If you use this team properly, you'll have a pretty much constant barrier. So you can actually give the opponent them skull hits sometimes. It doesn't matter. That's like, you're going to have a barrier so easily with this. As soon as we cast a Charlestoni, you're going to get another barrier. We'll cast it on them. Didn't need to do it then. Let's get Mang up again for the second time, just because. Let's cast Gargoyle, do loads of damage. They're now near finished. Take out the bottom troop, charge Gargoyle, kaput. And nowhere near damage on any team. Any of our team members have got no damage whatsoever. It's just absolute piece of cake with that team. Do enjoy it. Well, there's the video. A couple of team choices there. If you enjoyed it, why not bash that like and subscribe button? It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.